Good afternoon, January the 7th, 2016. Time to recap the day's trading. We came in today with the idea that there was one short left in the market, and if we didn't take out the Globex low, we were probably going to get a short covering relief rally. The place we saw that had to hold if the selling was going to continue was 1950. So our first sell was 45 to 50, picked up this area right in here, and it was a scratch at best if you were nimble. Our second area where we saw that there might be selling was in this 60 area, and we got a good trade out of the 60 area, and then the third area was 68 to 70. So as the market traded higher, this breakout came 1, 2, 3 impulses up. That's a V-top that worked. We went through several V-top trades today, or V-bottoms. They're at best 50-50. It's the only way I know of to get close to the market's high or low, if that's what you need to satisfy yourself psychologically. The big money doesn't play it. The big money's figured out a long time ago that you don't know where the high or the low is until after the fact. So the trades that set up the shorts, this was the first trade right here. And the problem with this first trade to the short side is that this is the first move on the breakout. And there's usually a second leg to come. So this trade is over. This is the second leg of the breakout, or 3 impulses up. So this trade right here, because it's move, pause, move, or 1, 2, 3, has a much higher chance of success than the previous one. It also turns out that it's a head and shoulders pattern. So this was the first line to be drawn. If we took that out, 1960 or 1970 were the next most likely places that the market stopped. The overnight session low was 1930. That's 200 plus points from the high of 2134, 2135. A lot of stuff came together in that 1930 area that said the market might get some short covering. Average short covering rallies are 30 to 40 points. 70 happens to be 40 points off the low. So this 1970 area did set up and provide a pretty good short. Looking at the F1 screen, lower high, lower low. Find a place to sell it. Looking, and there's a K in there too, so I've got to go back and recompute the data. But we are looking at the B session. We've got a double distribution. We've got a new distribution lower starting in G or H period. The market should test the overnight session low, and it is. And the key is going to be what happens, what's the Fed going to do when we get down there? Are they going to come back in and support the market or not? So if the market were to close right here, we've got volume at 38.39. Got the last rotate up, stopped at 42. We're at 32. So selling the 38 to 41 area. Sell 1. Selling 45 to 50. Sell 2. Basically where we were on the last update. Got volume down here at 23, so 26, 24, buy 1. Got a low volume number down at 11, 10 to 15, buy 2. News tomorrow, Newsday trade, non-farm payrolls, 200K. If you believe that number, the Fed can raise interest rates further. Unemployment, 5%. If you believe that number, the Fed can raise interest rates further. Earnings up 2/10, work week 34.5, and then wholesale trade at unchanged. News focus, non-farm payroll, followed by unemployment. That's where the whipsaw comes from. Market looks like it's trading lower to me. Like the sell side better. Okay, the direction of the note and the 30-year will be tied to tomorrow's non-farm payroll number. That'll trade it better than the E-mini will. And the direction of the E-mini, whether the E-mini continues to sell or not. So, and again, I have to go back in and do a force tick rebuild on all these screens. Higher low, higher high, find a place to buy it based on structure. Definitely a P, but we did have some selling through the DE period, which is when the E-mini was peaking. So right now, based on this, we're sellers 7 to 11. And 15 to 19. On the buy side, last rotate down stopped at the buck basically, so 29 to 01 buy 1. And then 21.25 buy 2. Had a good day in the treasuries. We got the support and resistance levels correct. I love that when that happens. Just kidding. Gonna wear my arm out, patting myself on the back, right? Somebody has to do it. Okay, similar situation in the 30-year. New distribution started up in I period, bottomed in E period when the E-mini was topping. And right now, if we were to close, right now we're going to sell 7s to 11s, sell 1. In 19 to 23, sell 2. Do not want to be short if the E-mini is selling. It's just, that's a losing trade. 25, 29, buy 1. And then 17 to 20. 13 to 17, buy 2. I am just always amazed, though, at how fast the world is starting to spin and accelerate. We can actually, people are starting to talk about the Saudi Arabian. The shale oil production. You remember, we, on paper, have been having to support the Saudi regime forever because of the shortage of oil. We know there's no shortage of oil. We know there is no shortage of energy. We may not like to pay for it. Everybody has gold in their backyard. It's just not economic to go get it out of your backyard. But just think about if you unravel the financiers of the Wahhabi sect or strain of Islam, which is that and the Muslim Brotherhood, both from the Sunni side of Islam, is the fount of terrorism. Been out there a long time now, since 1979. The Ayatollah in Iran has been doing his best to overtake those people and done a pretty good job. But it really, Saudi Arabia no longer that. Price of oil below $50 a barrel. That immense welfare or social state that Saudi Arabia has built to keep their local population amused, distracted, not gainfully productive for most of them. Maybe that crap will start to come undone. And maybe we're being forced to wake up, I think. Okay, gold, 2 days of higher lows and higher highs. We are at resistance. This 11-15 area is the next stop. We've got this high volume number. This market is pointed higher. About a change in the news. The change in the news would be a strong rally in the stock market. But again, even when we were rallying today, the peak in the E-mini came in the E period. You can see that gold was holding its gains, and it was pointed higher. So here we are. So 111, 9 to 11 will be sell 1. That's where resistance is. Get through that, 15 to 17. We used to play those numbers a lot. On the buy side, the breakout came from the 2-3 area. Last rotate down in E period was 3, so 3 to 5 buy 1. Then 98 to the buck buy 2. And fear is what's taking us higher in this. Nothing else. In deflation, this will lose value too, but I think a lot of people have seen with all the printing of money, etc., that, yep, may not be worth what I paid for it, but if the bottom falls out of everything, I'll have something that I can barter or exchange. And silver is a better candidate for that than gold. Could you make change for this 1 ounce gold coin here? Gee, I just don't happen to have any. Well, I really need whatever it is you're selling me, though. For getting around and for survival and the rest of it, the silver is going to be a better play. Okay, lower high, lower lows. Good chance 32's it for a while. If we don't take out 32 in the overnight and we start back up into the week short covering, could take us higher. And $5, $7 rallies when they start to cover their shorts in crude oil can happen quickly. Pretty clean break in the market in this 33.75, 34 area. Got pretty good support below 33, so right now 32.75, 32.50 by 1. Going to play for 32 being the low, 32, 32 and a quarter by 2. On the sell side, 33.75, 34, sell 1. 34.25, 34.50, sell 2. 35 over the top. 32 beneath. Crude normally trades at $2 to $3 range. There's your range right there. And last but not least, the euro. The euro yesterday did not react to the yuan's devaluation. It did react correctly when we came in this morning. So China has no choice but to devalue the yuan, and they have so much commodities that they have stockpiled in China and paid way too much for. It doesn't really bother them. It's not their money. So their cost of materials won't go up as quickly as it will for the European Union, which doesn't stockpile. So here we are, 109.50, 110. That's where resistance is. This screen tells us to find a place to buy it. And our F2 screen gives us the same information. There's your move out of the middle. We have several distributions up, so 109.75, 109.60, sell 1. That round number 110, and I like that trade, getting short against 110 would be sell 2. Breakout came from 108.95, so 109 plus or minus buy 1. Move out of the middle came from 108.75, that's buy 2. Okay, big news day tomorrow, down to the news, what the unemployment numbers are going to be. The Bureau of Labor Statistics has been pumping out inflated job numbers since this administration took over. They were going to get it to 5% unemployment. They have. They got it there by not counting the people that are no longer looking for work. The nice thing for us as traders is we understand the short side of the market and we can read the volume. And with that said, I will bid you all adieu. I will see you bright and early in the morning for a newsday trade, the first or second largest news day of the month. Y'all have a great evening. Back at it again in the morning.